All right, I know I'm wearing a beanie and it's October 1st, but hey, a win is a win, and I'm going to be celebrating with my favorite beanie. And yeah, the Chicago Bears are going to be facing the Carolina Panthers this upcoming Sunday at Soldier Field. And, this is going to be a pretty big game, even though it doesn't seem like a very important game. But in a stretch of three games that we have leading into our bye week, this game matters a lot. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Soback Sports, and I'm so back with another video. And I'm going to be doing my weekly prediction for the Carolina Panthers and Chicago Bears game. But before we get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really means a lot to the channel. It really helps me create content like this for you guys. Also, we have episodes of the Soback Sports podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's go quickly into the matchup info. And listen, on paper, this seems like a very snooze fest of a game because the Panthers are trying to get into their groove, even though they are 1-3. They have not a lot going for them, but listen, Andy Dalton gives hope for this offense. And compared to what they had to deal with Bryce Young, and this is night and day better with Andy Dalton. And listen, the receivers have come alive. Deontay Johnson and Xavier Leggett is pretty good. Adam Thielen, I think, is hurt, is on IR now, so that's going to be tough for them. But defensively, they're also pretty, deficient. They're really missing Brian Burns, and their ability to get to the quarterback is going to be a pretty big deal. Their secondary is also not that great. But listen, at the end of the day, they're going to be a scrappy team, even though they are at bottom of the barrel. They will make it tough on teams because listen, say what you want about Cincy and their bad start. The Panthers were putting up a fight in the first half, and the game just got away from them. But at the end of the day, let's talk about the Chicago Bears because as of right now and how it stands, the Chicago Bears rank 24th in passing, 29th in rushing, and 27th in total yards per game. And while that seems like bottom of the league, it's improvement from what we started out in the beginning of the season. And I know it's only been 4 weeks, but Chicago Bears have shown a lot of improvement in week 4, especially when it comes to the offense. Minus that first quarter, Shane Waldron put together a pretty solid game plan and was able to execute it against a Sean McVay defense, a defense from the LA Rams. I know the Rams were very injured on all fronts, but you got to take whoever's in front of you. You just have to make sure you win, and the Chicago Bears did that. And a fun fact about this game, the Panthers and Bears game, is that the Chicago Bears are 8-3 all time, and are currently on a 3-game winning streak dating back to 2017, which is, I guess, pretty interesting. But to be fair, we're not really like facing them every year until more recently. And we had to go over the offense because the offense has been finding its stride. Caleb Williams has shown growth every single game and finally reached a passer rating of 100. Made sure that he kept the ball out of harm's way. Was efficient. And threw a touchdown to DJ Moore after 4 games, which is pretty amazing to see that they got the connection there. And listen, say what you want about him and how he's being a game manager right now. It's important to get that skill early on when you're a young quarterback. And Shane Waldron, like after that meeting between him and Caleb Williams and Mercedes Lewis, the offense looked a lot more lively. And you really want to see that because you can't waste the opportunity of having a really good wide receiver core, paying DeAndre Swift, underutilizing Roshan Johnson just because you want to keep a ball out of harm's way. And listen, I'm not sure how involved Eberflus is, but I need Shane Waldron to step it up even more than the last game because listen, we need to um, as a team or as an offense have to start to put together good games and good drives throughout the game. It can be like three and out, good drive, three and out, three and out, three and out, right? It has to be very consistent, which we saw near the end of the game where there was a couple scoring drives back to back. And thanks to Torrey Taylor and our defense, which I'll be getting to pretty soon, you have to also give credit where credit is due to Shane Waldron for making those adjustments in the second half. Going to our defense, Chicago Bears defense lighting it up per usual because what can we say? It's been a pretty common denominator for how we were able to be in games, whether it's against the Texans, whether it's against the Titans in the first week of the season, um, the Colts as well. Like for like the first half, the defense has been showing up, and we have to make sure that as an offense, we also show out for them too, make their life easier too. They're keeping us in games. We have to make sure we return the favor. And going back to the offense a little bit, utilizing the run game really helped Caleb Williams and his confidence, and you could clearly see that utilizing Roshan Johnson on third and short situations or third and medium situations is going to be crucial to keeping drives alive. DeAndre Swift as well has been pretty well utilized. He had a breakout game. I love to see what he did. What was it, 70 plus yards or 90 plus yards rushing and 90 plus yards receiving. You love to see that from him, and you had to continue that into this game when you're going against a very like young and inexperienced defense, and it's not really that good. So you got to take advantage of it as much as possible, and don't make this like don't. You have to always make sure that you're putting on the gas. And listen, some key points I want to bring up as well. We need to go on a run. We have 3 games till our bye week, which is week 7, and we are facing the Panthers, the Jags, um, and I think that's it. I'm pretty sure. I think that's it because it's 5-6. Yeah, that's it. We're facing the Jags in London, which could be a little bit of a tricky game. So we really need to win this game going into the bye. And we can't underestimate the Panthers. They may be bad, but listen, like the Steelers were 3-0 or 3-0 or going into week 4, and they underestimated the Colts, and the defense just laid an egg. And yeah, that's how they lost that game. And we cannot afford to lose that. We should have won that Colts game as well. So you have to keep your foot on the gas the entire game. Make sure the offense demolishes the Carolina Panthers defense, because we're not going to get opportunities like this going into the second half of the season when we're facing Green Bay or we're facing the Lions, the Vikings, the 49ers, the Seahawks. They have great rosters. We need to warm up our offense to be able to get to that. And that's why this year's schedule is so much nicer, is that we did not get the division games in the first half of the season, where it's pushed back to later so that we're prepared, as Caleb Williams is prepared, Shane Waldron's prepared, Eberflus is prepared to face the real competition. Dalton makes his return to Chicago, which is going to be pretty fun to like take a look at, because as you all remember, 2021 he was the starter when we drafted Justin Fields, and eventually Justin Fields became the starter after Dalton got hurt. So his tenure in Chicago wasn't that long. And listen, he's bounced around teams, and he's a great, solid backup quarterback, and he's done a lot of things in Cincy, and he's done pretty well for himself. And another key point is Caleb Williams has to continue to steadily improve. Deep ball accuracy has been a real issue. I'm not even going to lie. It's been pretty hard to watch at times, but I think that's just a part of the process. He will eventually get to that point where he will be able to make those very, very often. But right now, he's just not finding that timing. He's not getting that timing correctly, which I think will be addressed down the line. And as long as he continues to put the ball into the receiver's hands and out of harm's way, makes correct decisions, don't have to always go for the flashy play, he's going to be great this game. And it's only going to improve his confidence going into the next game. Um, Lean on the run game. The run game is going to be very vital when it comes to, especially developing the run game going into the next season. I know I keep repeating the next couple of games because this game is going to be the turning point pretty much. I'm glad we won the Rams game, but we need to make sure we show dominant wins against the Panthers and the Jags, which both teams are struggling because 1-3 and 0-4 team. Like, we have to win these games. And Roshan Johnson and DeAndre Swift are going to be the key to those wins, or the offense really making a statement going into Soldier Field. And Waldron really has to call a good game. Like, you have to really make sure that you're not complacent, you're aggressive, and you're making the right calls. You're trying to make open the field up for Caleb Williams to do magic, or utilize the run game in a proper way. The offensive line has been a key issue and has been holding back our progress. But listen, as long as Caleb Williams is able to get the ball out, and as long as we open up opportunities for our running backs to do good things, uh, utilizing Matt Pryor, or hopefully Kerry Blasingame is back as the fullbacks to really bolster up that offensive line. I think that we're going to be pretty set for this game. Um, Defense also needs to dominate. Continue doing what you do. Be a game wrecker. Get to the quarterback as much as possible, and you're gonna be pretty sad because this, if anything, this is like free money for the against the Carolina Panthers, because they're not that good. They're really not that good. So take advantage of that. Flus, you have to really call a good game too, and Torrey Taylor, just continue being great, making sure that you pin Andy Dalton and the offense in tough positions on the field. That's just what's going to win us this game. I think if we do everything and like, think of this as like an opportunity to kind of like get right. I know we won the last game, but it was a lot sloppier in the beginning than the second half. So just continue to build good habits, and you're going to be set going into London the following week. Some key takeaways. So, out of all this, key takeaways on how to win this game: aggressive on offense, making sure that we make the right decisions, and you know utilize the run game properly. Going to be very key. Defense has to get Number two. Defense has to get to the quarterback, and three, Caleb continues to show growth and no turnovers, and essentially win this game. Yeah, currently right now I'm 3-1 when it comes to predictions this season. The only prediction I got wrong was the Colts game, sadly. So I could have been 4-0, which sucks. But this game, I predict the Chicago Bears to handily win against the Carolina Panthers 35-14. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about your predictions for this game. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. And as always, remember to like and subscribe, follow the podcast. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching and supporting the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one.